What is going on, gamers, and welcome to Bangers and Munch. It's episode number 6, I think, maybe number 5. I forget because I sometimes miss weeks because I'm not organized. Now, you're probably sat at home thinking, I really want to get into the LPL, but I don't know which games to watch. Well, luckily for you, I'm here. I'm one of the LPL commentators, and I'm going to tell you which games coming up over the next week and a half are going to be bangers. Now, I'm a little bit late for week number 6, so I'm just going to do the end of week number 6 and week number 7 combined to tell you which bangers to look out for. So without further ado, let's jump into the action. We're going to start things off on Saturday. Now, Saturday, the 17th of July, we have literally maybe the biggest banger of the entire split, and that's not just hyperbole. I am so excited for Top Esports versus FPX. I think this series is going to be amazing. Now, this is the LPL, so we get a best of 3. We don't even just get a tiny little best of 1. We get the full show. It's Doing B versus Knight. Now, if you haven't been watching, my God, Doing B got a 1v5 pentakill against RNG. It was unbelievable. Knight had a 1v5 against, I can't even remember who it was against actually, but basically saved the game by himself. Unbelievable. It was on the Nexus. Like, these two players have been playing outstanding across the course of the split. Knight is honestly 1v9ing in quite a lot of series right now. And FBX have been going through all kinds of turbulence when it comes to the roster. Nuggery got subbed out. They had a support sub out where Crisp is having some medical issues. So LWX was playing Alistair, and a new player called Jingy stepped up from their academy roster, played Draven on his first ever game, and they absolutely smashed. Definitely an exciting time to be a fan of the LPL. That matchup is going to be all about the mid lane. And honestly, I get goosebumps. I get giddy just thinking about what that's going to be. Doing B versus Knight. You do not want to miss it. That's going to be at midday in British time. And I'll Google the other time zones and put them on the screen or whatever when it brings up. So we then move on to Sunday, the 18th of July, the following day at the same time, midday in Britain. I don't know what time that is elsewhere, but we'll put it on the overlay. EDG versus RNG. Now, this is a great series for 2 reasons. Now, number 1 is historically, this is an amazing matchup, right? These are 2 of the old school LPL organizations, 2 of the organizations that have made success happen internationally for the LPL, both organizations that have done well at MSI specifically. But RNG are having a bit of a rough split, it has to be said. Now, they did beat V5 yesterday, but that's not that impressive of a feat. And they actually subbed out Crying in one of their recent series, trying out a new rookie mid laner called Yuakai, which I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not 100% sure. I have only cast him once, and it was a surprise that he was subbed in, let me tell you. Up against EDG, who are currently 10-1. Like, EDG are the powerhouse team. They are 20-3 in games right now in the LPL. Excuse me, I just nearly died. That's an 87% win ratio. Pretty insane. RNG on the struggle bus, but I think that they will... Oh my God. I had hobnobs earlier, and I think there's like a bit of oat stuck in my throat or something like that. That's a British biscuit for anyone that doesn't know. Yeah, RNG versus EDG, it's always going to be a banger. I think RNG will step up for this series. I think they will bring out all the stops. I do think EDG is a favorite, but I don't think that will stop it being a bit of a banger, especially since Yuakai looked actually really good on that LeBlanc. So I'm hoping he can bring a bit of a challenge to Scout in that mid lane. Okay, next series. We're going to move on. I'm going to do 5 since we're kind of doing 2 weeks in this episode. Suning versus LNG. This is going to be on 10 a.m. on the 21st of July. That's in British time. We'll put the other times on the overlay as always. Suning versus LNG. Now, that might not sound like the biggest banger matchup on paper, right? But LNG are currently on a downward trend. They've got 3 losses in a row. After such a hype start to the split, they've started to fall apart a little bit. Ale especially having a couple of rough games for himself. Tarzan feeling like he can't really find the same advantages as before. And they're going up against a team that Suning have been inconsistent this split. They're 5-5, managing to get series over teams like Top Esports, but then managing to lose series versus Rogue Warriors as their most recent result. So it's a really weird one. Suning are one of these teams right now that I really don't know what to expect from, but they're going to 3 games and a lot of series. It's generally been a lot of fun just to watch Suning regardless. And it feels like the support in the bottom lane has leveled up massively. Angel, super underrated in the mid lane right now. I think he's one of the better mid laners in the entire league. Not in the conversation for like top 2 or anything like that, but definitely underrated right now. Definitely just a team to watch, honestly. There's so much pop-off potential across this roster, and I feel like On is finally coming into his own. That versus LNG, who were doing amazing at the start of the split and are now on a downward trend. I feel like they kind of, with Suning going up and LNG going down, they're going to kind of meet in the middle. Could have a bit of a banger there. Moving on. Suning, again, versus FPX. This is going to be midday in Britain on the 23rd of July. Do not miss this one. Again, mid laners. I already talked about FPX. I already talked about Suning. Doing B versus Angel is going to be a lot of fun to watch. But also, both of these teams love to fight in the mid game. It really is a big deal for both of these guys. And also, neither of these teams get massive, massive advantages during the actual early laning phases. Like, Doing B obviously has been doing a lot of solo killing in that mid lane, but LWX and Crisp haven't really looked that strong in the 2v2. Same for Huanfeng and On, although they did get a kill onto Jackie Love and Drow, so shout out there. But up in the top side, Nuguri versus Bin. I mean, you already know that's going to be violent, right? So expect junglers up at the top side, expect a 2v2 there, maybe a 3v3 there, because we could see Angel and Doing B getting involved as well. Okay, the last proper match of the week, and then I'll do 2 quick honorable mentions as well. Top Esports versus IG. Need I say more? Jackie Love won the World Championship on IG, took a year away, and then jumped onto Top Esports in 2020. It was about halfway through the spring split in 2020, and he completely revamped this roster. They went from looking pretty dire, to be honest, to looking exceptional and going all the way to the finals. So really, really exciting. We saw him get, I think it was a quadra kill against IG the first time they faced after he joined Top Esports. And I feel like this matchup has a little bit of a personal twang to it. I always think that this is an amazing matchup. But also, Wink versus Jackie Love, both of them big Draven players. So you know that's going to be a violent, violent bottom lane. With that said, that's all of the actual big matches of the week. Oh, by the way, that was 25th of July on the Sunday at midday BST. I nearly said GMT. It's BST right now in the UK. 2 honorable mentions, and that's going to be on the 23rd of July, there's Top Esports versus Rogue Warriors, and on the 25th of July, there is LGD versus LNG. Now, I don't think that these are ones that are going to be necessarily the best games ever, but just Rogue Warriors, last split, beat Top Esports in the regular split. They were the only team that Rogue Warriors managed to get a win against. Kind of hilarious. And Rogue Warriors beat Suning very recently. Suning also beat Top Esports very recently. So maybe Rogue Warriors is better than Top Esports. I guess we'll have to see. That's Friday the 23rd. And then LGD versus LNG. Kind of similar logic to the Suning versus LNG matchup. I feel like LGD are kind of on an upward trend. Well, I say that. They're on a downward trend recently. Do you know what? That one's not even an honorable mention. Never mind. Forget I said anything about that much. That's going to be the Baggers and Mash. Munch. My brain's gone to mush. I've been casting today. Forgive me. I'm going to end the episode. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It helps promote things. I'm going to post it on Reddit as well, so get involved in the conversation. Other than that, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in Champ Select.